Welcome back, folks. My name is Rich. I'm just a dad and happen to have a New York accent. As many of our regular listeners know, this podcast is all about writings from non-speaking autistic individuals who tap one letter at a time on a letterboard, a keyboard, or any other type of electronic device. And as many of you know, for the last few months, we've been presenting writings directed specifically at the powers that be regarding their civil right to communicate. So before getting to Lucas Hahn's letter to New York State Senator Fahy, who heads up the Disabilities Committee, a quick fact and update on the status of the Communication Bill of Rights for Individuals with Disabilities, that being Bill S-7792B. The bill has been amended to include language such as quote-unquote valid and quote-unquote autonomous. So for those of us in the community, this is a setback and believe this new language falls outside the Americans with Disabilities Act, known as ADA. As of this date, April 1st, we have not received any information from the Senator's office as to why the language has changed. Let's get to Lucas's writing, who happens to hail from Clifton Park, New York, and he taps one letter at a time on the letterboard with his communication partner, his mom. He writes the following: Senator Fahy and Disability Committee members, I'm writing to protest with the entire strength of my being the amendments to the Communication Rights Bill. I am a 14-year-old non-speaker with level 3 autism, and communication with a letterboard supported by a communication partner is my only effective means of communication. I spent most of the first 12 years of my life in silence imposed on me by the very quote-unquote experts driving these amendments. These experts insist on quote-unquote autonomous and quote-unquote validated communication, meaning it seems communication without co-regulatory support. Despite being supposed experts on my condition, they fail to understand that asking autistics with my degree of sensory motor apraxia to communicate without co-regulatory support is equivalent to asking a blind man to kindly, quote-unquote, just start seeing, or saying to a quadriplegic, quote-unquote, arise and walk. You think I exaggerate with these comparisons, but I do not. Yes, our disability in terms of purposeful motor, to be distinguished from automatic and impulsive motor, is equivalently severe, although it seems to be unrecognized by most experts. In terms of quote-unquote validated communication, if you look at validation in terms of real-life outcomes, letterboarding seems to be the landslide winner for reaching those with minimally non-speaking autism. I know hundreds of minimally non-speaking individuals who have toiled endlessly to try to express themselves through quote-unquote validated methods such as PECs and alternative communication devices, only to be limited to unreliable communication of our simplest wants and needs. This is not because we are intellectually impaired or do not desire to communicate, learn, or because our parents are not trying. All excuses I have personally heard from experts for my lack of progress using their quote-unquote validated methods. These approaches do not enable our communication because these methods and their processes by which they are taught do not address the true sensory motor deficits of level 3 autism. If quote-unquote validated communication means being able to express quote-unquote I want blue rather than simply quote-unquote blue, then you are right. The experts driving these amendments have more research support for their methods. But if quote-unquote validated means real, earth and life-shattering breakthroughs in voice and true autonomy, the ability to have agency in one's life, then the methods you are excluding by these amendments trump all others for many individuals. You are not disabled, yet have the power to speak and make decisions for us. Your amendments kill true autonomy for thousands. And shame on you for propagating the systematic injustices we face in our ability to seek the opportunities and protections granted to us as citizens of this state and country. Put on your grown-up pants and thinking hats and flush these amendments back where they belong, in the sewers of humanity's worst injustices. I and others like me deserve the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It is in your power to give thousands a real chance at this foundational promise made to all Americans. Signed, Lucas Hahn. In closing, this letter took Lucas 3 hours to write. Lucas, trust me when I say you are a true trailblazer. And on behalf of our entire community, we really can't thank you enough for such a well-written letter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And folks, by the way, as a reminder, you may recall this bill was passed by the New York State Assembly last year, 133 votes to 0. And from a reliable Albany source, I heard 99% of the bills that pass unanimously in the Assembly get passed in the Senate. That's it for now. Till next time.